asking where, does this have a trajectory that gets it to Louisville? Absolutely. I noted that along and south of the river is probably where we're going to have the best chance of severe. Now, does that include Indiana along the river? Absolutely. Does that include Louisville along the river? Absolutely. So you can see the warnings now go from Floyd, Harrison, through Southern, Crawford County, Meade, Hardin County, Breckenridge, Grayson, and parts of Hart County are now under severe thunderstorm warnings. The northern warning there, including around Harrison and Meade County, there is severe thunderstorm with tornado possible. You know, I say this regularly, but when you're in this scenario, tornadoes can form very, very quickly, so you need to take them seriously. Note our southeast county is also under a flood watch. So here are the warnings, and it just, again, is very obvious that if you're near the river and south, you have a really good chance of catching some severe thunderstorm warnings with some winds that are probably going to exceed 50 or more. Madison, we've got heavy rain. We've got rain right now in Seymour through Salem and Paoli. We've got moderate rain right now in English. Now, this area has been worked over a little bit by rain, so the fuel is not as high. Tornado warning just issued, guys. We're going to need to stay with this for a while. We've been watching this area of rotation, so now we have a tornado warning here in effect. Tornado warning for Crawford, Harris.
Another one.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County in south-central Kentucky, Simpson County in south-central Kentucky, Western Hart County in central Kentucky, Allen County in south-central Kentucky, Butler County in south-central Kentucky, Grayson County in central Kentucky, Warren County in south-central Kentucky, southwestern Hardin County in central Kentucky, southern Breckenridge County in central Kentucky, northwestern Barron County in south-central Kentucky, eastern Ohio County in central Kentucky, Edmondson County in south-central Kentucky, until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 4:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 3:29 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 8 miles northwest of Litchfield to 9 miles northwest of Cross Plains, moving east at 65 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Severe thunderstorms will be near Litchfield around 3:35 p.m. Central Daylight Time. A tornado watch remains in effect until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time for Central Kentucky. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. A tornado watch remains in effect until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, or 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time for Central Kentucky.
Okay.
And you know, one of the values that we have of having our network of cameras around the area is that we are able to watch these storms. You know, we as a team, when we kind of come together at the end of the year, we always talk about the things that we want that are going to be able to allow us to do our jobs better. And this is the reason why we built our camera network around the area. We've got a tornado warning storm approaching the Corydon area, and now we have eyeballs on that storm because we have the camera network out there. It is worth noting that you don't need to be physically
Mark, I think we have a little debris.
Okay, you think or you feel like? I'm going to come back over you real quick, Rick.
I think it's worth noting it matches perfectly up with where the velocity is. It's inside reflectivity.
It could be the rotation there. I mean, there's definitely rotation.
It's subtle, just a little bit though. It's subtle.
And so just so you understand here, I'm going to go over the weather well briefly here, so I can kind of discuss here. But what we would look for are very, very dark. Basically blue holes in that. Rick just kind of discussed it, but our radar now has the ability to see particles out there. We know that if we're in a rainy area, we know that all the raindrops are the the same. Of course, there can be some that are a little bit bigger than others, but hail really would be one of the few things that
Grandma, how's the looking out there?
So. Let Grandma know when you're hungry, okay?
Okay. Mm.
Hey, don't just run into the screen because it's gonna break.
It's dark.
What are you gonna say when you're hungry?
I'm hungry.
Look, over there is dark, don't it?
Yes.
You go back in?
Mm-hmm.
Re-signature, but I think that that is definitely at least worth looking at and inspecting a little bit more closely. I know that people around the rest of our area are curious. For me, what's going on? Let's go over to Stormview HD, Hannah, on the wider perspective. We'll start off with a timeline for the tornado-warned storm. So this is in White Cloud 8 minutes from now. This means take cover in Corydon. You have 14 minutes until a potential tornado could be in your area. You don't wait. You take that warning. You're proactive on this one. We notice that we've got widespread rain in southern Indiana as we look like Seymour, Bedford, North Vernon. Do I have concern that this line's going to be severe for you? I would say I have a lower concern. The greater concern is going to be near the Ohio River and south. Why? Because the fuel's better. It rained in southern Indiana for quite a bit earlier, and that lowered the fuel. Let's go in and track each portion of this line. Coming into Grayson County right now, 60-mile-an-hour winds are the main threat on this. The National Weather Service right now does not note tornado warning on this storm near Litchfield. Let's do a track on that part of the storm and take it across Grayson County. I know a lot of people in E-Town are going to be wondering, when is that storm going to be in my area? Storms are moving at about 50 miles an hour. 10 minutes from now in the Sunfish area. Litchfield from now 16 minutes. Wax 25 minutes and 30 in Millerstown. And Hannah, let's just go a little bit further north. I want to take that northern part of the line, also the non-tornado warned portion, because I think it's important to note that there are still a lot of people being impacted that are going to be curious, when should I expect 60-mile-an-hour winds? And it's going to take that off to the east 4 minutes from now in Irvington, 11 minutes from now in the Brandenburg area, 19 minutes from now in Flaherty, and PRP, so this is moving into Louisville 30 minutes from now. And I think all of us, as we look at this and think, we know that severe thunderstorms with a tornado-warned storm approaching Louisville during the evening commute. Hannah, the timing on this is not good at all. Not that it ever is, but this is a really bad time.
We're looking for a bright spot. It's that it's coming in when we expected it to.
That's
so
true.
hopefully folks took the warning seriously, as we've talked about it for about 24 hours now, expecting these storms to be in the Louisville metro between about 4 and 5. And here we are, 38. The storm's about 30 minutes away from Louisville Metro. Again, we do have an active tornado warning that's west of Louisville right now. Now, the Weather Service mentioned something interesting as we think about that tornado-warned storm, about the potential for a water spout as that comes across the Ohio River. So I also think as we watch the correlation coefficient here, we should keep that in mind, that
That's a good point.
we're seeing maybe some extra water that's being wafted into the cloud
Tornado,
itself.
that's an update to the tornado warning, but right
Right.
now, let me just give that specifically. They just canceled Crawford and Meade out of it. Continuing radar indicated tornado, not radar confirmed, but radar indicated. This is now only Harrison County. Hannah didn't want to interrupt, but just wanted to update on that. And also of note, by the way, in the bottom right would be the Corydon camera, so you can see. You know, if you're in Corydon, it's
Turn it a
time.
little bit. Yeah, if you're in Corydon, it's time. Let's turn this around a little bit so you can get a better look.
Okay, and I'm going to take that full, guys, in the production, so you know. This is the storm as it's approaching Corydon. Hannah's going to recenter that so we can take a look at where the updraft base is on that storm. You can see there, definitely, there is a lowering that we would at least be watching. If you're going to get a tornado on a situation like this, the likelihood of getting a good view on it is going to be exceptionally low. You can see some lightning strikes there. Hannah, it's kind of become a point now in our science that we have to tell people, hey, there's a tornado warning, and I know what happens is people grab the camera, walk outside. We've seen so many videos of that in Arkansas. We saw where people could have lost their lives on something like this. Don't go outside with your camera.
No.
Don't do that unless you want to put your life at risk and maybe your family not get to enjoy you for the rest of your life. These are serious. Tornadoes can and do kill people. Don't take those risks. We've got the camera for you. that's what you want to see, take your phone down into your basement, stream us off the WDRB.com website, and you can watch it. We'll show it to you, but please don't put your life at risk. Rick, you're watching it closely. I'm going to come back over to Stormview 3D. What are you seeing different over the last couple of scans?
Over the last couple of scans, I mean, it's just kind of maintaining this rotation. While it's really broad, it's definitely pronounced enough where it deserves the warning, and there's no doubt about that in my mind. So if you are in cordon, you need to take action. You need to do that immediately. The storm system is quickly moving in from the west. So again, State Road 135, that's going to basically be the area of rotation. That's going to cross right over that. Again, cordon right now in the line of the storm. I'm not seeing anything on NROP, which is normalized rotation, or also the correlation coefficient that would signify that there's anything major being done. But what I want to do is just kind of make sure that that's not the case. We're getting updates very frequently. We're in what's called sales mode. So every minute we get new radar scans, and that's why we kind of have our heads down so frequently to kind of make sure that we're not seeing anything different so frequently. So again, I mean, I'm seeing rotation. It's tough to say. It's kind of a muddy scan with this one.
And you know, in these quick spin-up situations, Rick, they can form really, really quickly.
Absolutely.
The signature on one of these quick spin-ups is probably not going to match, you know, an example of the EF3 tornado that we saw over Arkansas or over Iowa. These are not going to have that same type of a signature. So in that, we need to be really aware that as we look at these, when we speak quick spin-up, they can occur very, very quickly with not a huge amount of notice. So that's really important. And Rick Hanna's got a timeline of these up as well. So you can see, you know, Cordon's only got a couple minutes now to prepare. I mean, if you're thinking, oh, maybe I want to go quick. No, you go to your tornado center right now, your tornado shelter. If you've got an interior room, it's the best place to be. Bathtub's always great if there's a tornado approaching. If you can get into basement, that's always going to be one of the safer spots. Hanna, you've had also the experience of going out after tornadoes have hit with damage surveys, and it is remarkable the number of times that we see an interior room. The whole outside of the house is blasted, interior room standing with no problems. It's real. It is a much safer spot.
And we don't just tell that to you because it's a theory, it's because that's what we see survive strong tornadoes. I will mention that this looks like it's headed right for Gordon. I mean, right for kind of downtown part of the city there. That area of rotation that Rick is keeping a close eye on. Headed right for the city. I mean, that's the camera that you're watching here. So there's a tree in the foreground. The camera on the bottom right corner is in Gordon. So you're going to watch how this moves a little bit. That's really all you're going to be able to see, though, because there is so much rain here, and that's obviously what's showing up in the camera. You're not going to be able to see far away. This is not if it's a tornado right now, this is not a tornado you're going to watch just walk across the screen. We're going to watch how the tree behaves as the storm moves through.
And if we could, guys, let's keep radar in the bottom corner box. I'd like to take the cord and, if you could, and put it in the larger box there. We need to watch this very, very, very closely. If you guys can put radar in the bottom corner of this view, that would be really important. Rick, stay with that camera if you could.
Yep.
Let's make sure that we're on top of this. We're watching Corridon live right now as a tornado-warned storm is quickly approaching the Corridon area. Please, if you're in Corridon, take the warning seriously right now. Do not attempt to go outside. And you'll notice that the Corridon breaks briefly here in the stream.
Yes, I do.
It may have froze on us there.
I don't know.
Let me see if I can get that.
Okay, I'll let somebody else say.
And see if we have that freeze as well. Okay, so it does appear that the camera may have frozen up briefly. If we could, let's continue to keep an eye on that. Let's put radar back now into the bigger screen here, because it does appear that our coordinate camera, if there was a power outage or something like that, that could have the rotation. I've got Stormview 3D on. Actually, I'm going to come over to Hanna, Rick, while you keep an eye on that camera.
Yeah, it's in and out. If you go back, it's kind of just back and forth. But wow, the winds are insane right now.
Okay. It's on our weather system.
It might lag, but give it a second. You can see just how strong those winds are.
It's worth seeing what we catch in between those in the scans.
It skips, but
I don't know if on our weather computer it's going to allow that. Hannah, I'm going to come over to you real quickly.